Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Create and Craft. My name's Dan. Cheers to Paola and Nikki for that last hour. What a penultimate show for the one-day special we have for you. All things Tony Derrick, all things stamps by me. I'll be throwing you over by the power of some sort of Skype Zoom internet to Tony in her studio in just a second. But it is the one-day special, so I'm going to give you two big item numbers. There's much more on the show, by the way. There are happy hours, all sorts for you. But this is where I want you to go. 101, your items to pop into your basket, brand new today. The first one is the one-day special, the collage designs for you here. 3 options, all the same item number. They are all under £30. Of course, you've got a club discount on top of there as well. You get a combination of stamps and dies, just the most beautiful lined artwork, which you can colour in many different ways as well with your watercolour elements. I know Tony's inspired a lot of you to do that. So you've got Time to Breathe, Happy Place and Midnight Times. Each one of those is a one-day special price. It's £217,275. Half the stock of Midnight Times has sold out, by the way, which is that one there. So you are going for the option, of course, you've got choices of. And Tony will go through in much more detail what it looks like in just a sec. But if you can't choose from all of those 3 and you want to get the brand new paper kits home as well, that is the multi-buy. And bearing in mind with that, you are already on top of your usual price on your screen, saving £6 on this one, £6 on this one, £6 on this one, and then because it's a new item number, a further £10 off. And then 3 flexi pays and your club discount, and including the 2 palettes at the top here. One of them is the watercolour artist collection. The other is the bright version 2 for under £30. So basically, just to very much give you your options, if you've got £30 budget for this show, for example, you could either go for one or on 3 flexi pays, go for everything, both under £30. But that item number, 687954, over half the stock has sold out and gone. Hey, plenty more on the show. There's happy hour to talk about as well. But what exactly are we getting home? What does it look like? I'm very excited. I've never done this before. Throw to Tony at the HQ, basically, Stamps by Me HQ, to talk you through everything. Morning, Tony.
Good morning, Dan.
Are you all good?
I'm good, thank you. Lovely to have your company again, guys. Thank you so much for having me through on a wonderful call via Zoom. Now, I'm just going to do a little bit of an in-depth view of the products that are on Dan's counter there. So you get 3 stamps and coordinating or complementing dies, so you can see them here. Absolutely wonderful. So we have Time to Breathe, Happy Place and Midnight Times. Now, if you're going for the bundle, you get them all, but there is a choice of as individuals. So in each set, you get an A5 stamp set, complementing or coordinating dies, 9 pieces in this one. Happy Place is another A5 stamp set, and then you get your coordinating dies, and this one does the incredible word that says thank you, which I've just got an example of here. Absolutely huge, it's wonderful. And then moving on to Midnight Times, which has been the most popular as an individual, is that wonderful sort of street lamp, and I can see why you're all getting this one because it's Christmas orientated too. And then we have the feather and then the coordinating dies also. So those are the 3 stamps bought as individuals or as a bundle. But if you do go for the bundle, like Dan's explained, you also get 2 paper collections. So it's extraordinary value on here. So we get watercolour brights and we get watercolour artistry. Now, these are a quick shortcut to create great mixed media cards. If you're not au fait with creating great backgrounds and things like that, totally got you covered. So we have some sort of ombre ones, we have some splat ones. So these are the traditional ones that you would do for your backgrounds and things like that, which we all try and achieve. We're not great at it, but you know, we have a go, and sometimes the results are amazing and sometimes they end up in the bin. But this is a great paper collection that's going to help you and hold your hand through. And then we have my favourite. I'm not having a bad day. These are wonderful, wonderful pieces of artwork, okay? So you get the wonderful greenery on here. So these stamps totally coordinate and complement all of these designs. Look at the detail in here. You have the flowers, the brights. You have the abstract feel to it as well because we've got the dripping sort of orientation on there as well. Absolutely incredible. I love, love, love these designs. These are just totally stamps by me. It has the inbuilt splats on there for you, the watercolour washers. So you don't have to do much, Dan. All you need to do is stamp the detail on and you are totally covered. Now, an example of this pretty one here with the sort of landscape and the tree going through there is replicated on this packaging, so you do get a true sense of what you can achieve if you build the bundle together. Absolutely beautiful. And having those dies is going to enable you to create 3D cards, mixed media cards, or simple slimline and flat cards too. So it's totally got you covered.
Love that, Tony. Thank you ever so much. Loads of demonstrations coming up. By the way, we're only 5 minutes in, nearly 60%. That's another 10% of the stock is sold out and gone. So most of you are going for that big collection, 687954. And by the way, just to show you a couple of examples using these where some of them have the papers included, some of them haven't been used. I love these. They're like a shaker card as well. This one does have the artistry, as you can spy. That doorway, by the way, I can tell why Tony absolutely adores it. If you want to do heat embossing after all with those flowers and that big statement thank you that Tony showed you. Really beautiful. Quick heads up, by the way. Can you see the kind of shards of glitter just on there? That is our colourless glitter. It is still in stock, by the way. It's about to sell out. We are single figures, but you can get hold of it just. So if you're sooner rather than later, Tony was telling us last night, and of course you can watch last night's shows back on our website as well. You can add pigment to this as well if you wish to colour them. They will pick up the colours around it, or they are colourless. For example, on that, if I move on to the next collection here, with that street light, you see the yellow in the bulbs. That is the colourless, picking up the colour in the background. So absolutely beautiful. And if you want to put that colourless glitter on the bottom part of the screen, 848259. Right, are they gone? That has just sold out. So well done, everybody. I'll put the lid back on. Hey, I did mention there is a happy hour. And with this item number, you've got a red box, you've got 3 flexi pay. So if you want to, you can divide the cost by 3 if you wish. The Ruby Blooms 8x8. If you love all things Ruby Blooms, by the way, there is a smaller collection as well. I'll quickly show you the details coming through here. And also, by the way, they are double-sided, a bit more muted on the other. Could be a touch festive if you want it to be. I think for New Year, though, absolutely beautiful. The script work coming through, maybe Valentine's. Of course, all of these items from Tony you can use to make and sell as well if you wish. But the Ruby Blooms is just a very pretty palette. And the price of this has dropped only for this hour. It's a happy hour deal. It's £8 more off if you are in the club. 422 463 £7.20. 10% of that stock is already sold out and gone. 422 463. And if you want to divide it by 3 interest free, make sure this big item number is in your basket. All of your item numbers on the show, whether it's the other paper pads after all, maybe it's the Eureka. You've got 30% off the Eureka if you're in the club on this show as well. Are you shopping for Christmas? Is it for you? Is it because it's Black Friday and it wouldn't normally be these kind of prices? On the website, crateandcraft.com, is where you can spy everything. Have a proper scroll on down. That's everything on this show. And I'd also encourage you to have a look, if you can, at the Stamps By Me brand page on our website, because there might be another bargain there for you. Tony, I know we were very lucky at launch. We got through all 3 of them. But what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the papers? You can do some heat embossing. What do you fancy?
I think, Dan, if it's okay with you, I'm going to start with the most popular one, which is the Midnight Times, if that's okay. So basically, I'm going to start with the feather. I did the lamppost, and I'm going to use some of the bits and pieces that we made together yesterday. So let's show you what I've got on my desk. So I've got the A5 stamp, which is wonderful. So we have the tall sort of classic in design lights up at the top here. We've got the script and we've got the lovely dots built in here. Then we have the wonderful feather on here. Now, do I need to hold this? There we go. So here we have the feather as well. So this is the one that I quickly painted up yesterday in the blue, but I'm going to change it up and make it work for my card. So this is the paper, which has a lot of white space. So if you still like your clean and simple cards, you can totally do that. So I'm just going to take the feather here. Now, I don't want to use all of the feather. I don't want it to be precise. I'm totally trying to put my collage, your mixed media head on here and be a little bit more creative. As you can see, the black block is actually not quite big enough, but I'm okay with it because I just want some of the detail to shine through. So I'm just going to use a grey ink pad here and I'm just going to ink this up. Quite random. I'm not precious. I don't want it to be perfect. I'm just going to build up a nice background, which is going to make it my own. So let's just pick up this stamp here. Now, I think most people would have just picked up this stamp and held it in the hand, but I don't like mucky fingers. So it's gone on a block. So I'm just going to go, let's go up the top here. So I'll just push this down. There's a little hangover there, so I'll just push those down too. And I get the lovely detail at the top of my card here, which is wonderful. So you can see how you can use it in so many different ways. So let's just ink it back up again here. So I am using grey because I don't want it to distract my eye from this beautiful coloured background on here. Now let's go, ooh, decisions, let's go here. So push, push, push. And you get some lovely sort of detail going on. And that splat, you know, it looks like I've actually spent a bit of time on colour. I totally haven't, as you all know, because you're all watching me live. So it's the actual paper. But let's use this feather. So this is the feather that we stamped and die cut. So it's not a choice of, guys. All of the dies come within the bundle as well for that incredible Black Friday deal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a little bit of teal and try and match it with the pretty card blanks that are in the show as well. So I'm just going to add some of this lovely teal.
Now, are they the, yeah, they're the teal card. Is it the pack of 50, Tony?
It is, darling. It's the square ones and the 6x8 ones, and they come with the complementing envelopes that have a colour core. So they're coloured on the inside and the exterior, and they have that posh sort of flap, so it looks really expensive.
That's exactly what it looks like. It's really beautiful, actually. And actually, it's much thicker envelopes than you may expect. Of course, it's cardstock and it's a paper, but as Tony was saying, coloured on the inside, a pack of 50. So maybe it's for your Christmas cards, maybe it's for something else, but for the quality and the price point, this is a classic Black Friday offer. It's a 353523. Cheers, Tony.
Thank you. So I'm just using a blue and a little bit of teal on here, and I'm just trying to build it into my design. So I'm going over the blue we did yesterday, and I did put a bit of blue on my mat, but it was too blue. So I just grabbed my Teal Eyes ink spray, which is also on the website as well, and I'm just going over, and I was going to use my sparkly stuff, but, you know, it's sold out, so I will get some more in for you all. Let's just get this on here. Well done if you did get that, though. So get the teal on there. I'll go right down to the base here. And this is just, I love these sort of cards because I look so much better than I actually am, and I don't want the mess. So if you're sort of a clean and simple card maker and love the look of those layered cards where it's all beautiful colour matched tones and things like that, then you're going to get that look with these. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to stick this one totally flat, and you'll be pleased to know, Dan, my glue is all nice and prepped and clean. It wasn't in my car. It was all, done it all sorted. So I just pop this up here on this teal card. Now, this is one of the teal card blanks, but I have trimmed it down slightly just to make it fit my card. So I have some pads on this wonderful feather. I'll just take these off here. So quite simplistic in design, but of course you can totally grunge it up, add sparkle, do what you need to do, make your own creation. And then we have two lovely sentiments from yesterday. And now I can stick them because my glue works. And we'll go right to the edge here just to make me look like a mixed media queen for an hour.
That's exactly what you are, Tony. It doesn't make you look like you are.
Today I'm trying to, but it is sometimes nice to chop out your craft, try new things and be a little bit creative, because I don't want to become monotonous in my craft. I really do want to create some different cards, and I think it's good sometimes to try new things because it helps you grow as a crafter. It makes you better as an individual as well.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm so excited about that because I know that's a quicker demonstration, which is what allows you to do, right? Using the papers, bringing them in. It's really, really funky. It's really, really modern. If you want it to be, of course, if you're more traditional and you want to put your flowers and your blooms in there, maybe you go for the artistry side of things. But you can. You can do a collage. You can do the splats in the background. You can do the mixed media elements, or be incredibly traditional as well. Okay, that complete collage collection, now 2/3 of the stock has sold out and gone. So bravo, everybody, checking out your baskets this morning. And a quick heads up. On the screen, it says you're saving £10, which I mentioned. Of course, club members will save £19.79. If you want to get more of the brand new paper pads, you can. They are under £20. I think from memory, they're under £18. So maybe, like me, when I'm saving something, I'm thinking, well, I could put that towards something else. Take that saving, put these in the same one. There we go, £17.99. and that price still divides by 3 interest-free as long as the big item number's in your basket as well. So if you want more of those, 608115. Maybe you're purely going for the one-day special, then you're adding those in as well. That's completely up to you. But nearly half the stock of those 2 paper pads has sold out already. It is 10:15 in the morning, 608115. If you purely want to choose, you've got that option too when it comes to all things one-day special. The Midnight Times, which is not that one, the middle one. What was that, Laura? 60% sold out of the Midnight Times, which is the middle one. Very, very pretty, the one that Tony was just using. And actually, just to bring in, I'm going to put it right in front of Chris's shot. He'll get crazy mad. But how about that? Very simple compared to how colourful the backgrounds can be through your papers. But that is very, very pretty. With the thank you from the previous one, by the way, the thank you is from the other one, the Happy Place. But as you can see, the die cut out of that feather is really, really pretty. And you've also got some more scripted sentiments in there too. So there's so much choice in this show. 217275. That is for your one-day special. Quick heads up, by the way. There's every chance we might have shown you the wrong happy hour earlier on. Is it this one? It's this one. So earlier on, team, Sozza, we showed you this one. It is this one. So if you ordered it, you're getting this. If you don't want this, probably contact customer services. You still get this one. It's still absolutely beautiful. It's still part of the Ruby Blooms. But these are those really funky, almost like metallic or textured backgrounds, which I'm super impressed about. There is a multi-buy, by the way, where you get another Mulberry and Gold collection and some stamped frames and some stamped dies in with this pad as well. But if you purely want this pad on its own, that is $720. That is this show's happy hour. Sorry for the confusion. 422463. That's I love that faux glitter. Absolutely beautiful. 422463. That is your happy hour for this show. Let me just pop that back, and I'm going to go over those card blanks because you are absolutely adoring them, as we are. It's a proper traditional. Hey, listen. Maybe you're going for. Look, how lovely is that? In the background there. Really beautiful for matte and layering. That's exactly where this has come from. They are pre-scored. You've got the Divine envelopes as well with that extended flap on the back. Colour on the inside too. It's a heavier, it's not card, but heavier paper on the envelope. But you get 50, which is Divine. So 353523 to get hold of that. 1618 is your club price. If you're going Christmas presents, and you like stamping, or you like jewellery making, or you like doing crystal art, or you like scoring, or you like doing watercolour, or you'd like to do all of these things, and die cutting and stamping, etc. Out of all of those brands and all of those stamping platforms, the Eureka 101 is Create & Craft's most popular item. The highest quantity of the Eureka 101 has sold here on Create & Craft. Why? Because it does all of those things we are saying. It has been designed by Tony as well, and it's worth £60. If you can get it home in the club for basically 40, incredible value for money. In fact, Tony, can I quickly ask you about the Eureka? It's 814466. Because was it first of all meant to be for stamping and watercolour in a palette, and then all these other crafts sort of came into it? Or was it meant to be like a really universal tool for whatever crafts someone likes to do?
It started out, Dan, as a watercolour tablet so I could watercolour on the go. It was at the time when I was trying to understand watercolouring, but as I built it, more things got added. It became a multi-tool in a sense then, where you were able to stamp with it, you're able to score with it. So most people stamp with clear stamps these days, but it doesn't rule out rubber. Rubber's still quite popular, and the unique part about our fabulous Eureka is the fact that you can stamp with rubber stamps with ease, and you can also stamp onto 2 and 3, sometimes 4mm MDF as well, which gives it that great unique point as well. But also it interchanges, it has a scoreboard included. You turn the scoreboard over and you have a box making, envelope making template. There are tutorials galore for this product as well. You get the score tool, you get the brush, you get your magnet, and in the new year, we have new elements coming for the fantastic Eureka as well. So if you're investing in the Black Friday deal, There are new elements that are going to work in this tool and another one as well. So it's a great tool that will sit on your desk and will be used every single day.
How cool is that? And on FlexiPay in its own right, it's on to 2025. Of course, if it's going in with a collage, you divide it by 3. These are all options. 814466. So excited about the Eurekas on Black Friday offers, as are lots of the elements, as are the paper kits, as are the happy hours. Everything you're after in this show this morning. Of course, you can go on the phone lines or the app, but on our website, createandcraft.com, that's where you can go to spy everything available on the show. Some of those items have already sold out, by the way, so just pop it in your basket and get ready to press checkout. And there's all sorts of other elements for you too. A quick heads up, by the way, the Ruby Blooms painted mounts are proving very, very popular this morning. And in fact, Tony, just to bring you in here as well, these could be a little bit like, I'm going to go for the, because you get 5x5 and then 5x7. This artwork in here could just take a hint of colour on there. It could be the stamped element. You could be die cutting the feather over the top of here. Or you could just take advantage of this artwork in its own right. But it's very pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, very classic in design, Dan, very colloquial. So you'll be able to just add a sentiment if you love your clean and simple cards, mat and layer them onto a white card blank, add an envelope, sell them for your local church, community, stamp a sentiment into the banners, add a halo, add detail there of a great weight as well, 300 GSM, which means they'll go through your embossing folders incredibly well. They'll take water really, really well. They'll hold the true form as well. And you've got square option, rectangle option. So you have that sort of landscape and portrait view. The great thing about these is you've got several of each design. So if you do want to build them up and pop the pads behind, create that 3D look, then you can do that too. So you're not sort of governed by one design. You have several of each. And they're a beautiful classic design in colour as well. So they're going to see through all the early months of the year, definitely the summer months, and then as we close down into the winter months, you could add some sparkle and make a gorgeous Christmas card if you wanted to.
Tony, they are limited stock. You're getting both 5x5 and 5x7, but 90% of the stock is gone. It's only $8.99. Cracking Christmas present to yourself. Maybe it's a little treat going on. Maybe that's going in the basket, divided by 3 on FlexiPay, making it £3 this month. 238069, your item number. Okay, you've now got your lamination stamps, friends like you. And as the name suggests, like starting with your stamps. Tony, your lamination designs, again, is the idea that the detail is going over the silhouette, if you like, or can these be individual elements if you want them to be?
Yes, so we only launched this about 3 months ago, Dan. It's one of our latest lamination stamps. Now, for anybody that's brand new to the channel or never seen Stamps by Me before, or even me before, lamination is what put Stamps by Me on the map. It's the 2-part stamp system that gives you the very forgiving, fluid, artistic in design. You'll see from the papers in the show today to the papers for Ruby Blooms, we like a little bit of texture. We like something that's easy on the eye. So if you want to create that look of a watercolour masterpiece without actually understanding how to watercolour or light and shade, then it's got you covered. So the solid portion is where you pop your colour, spray with water, stamp it down, and then the outline you can do with your embossing powders, white ink, grey ink, black ink, change it up a little bit, and you really do get that look of painted effects, but you don't have to tell anyone that you didn't paint it. And the outline can be used as an entity on its own, so if you want to colour it with your alcohol markers as well, you can totally do that. Some lovely uplifting sentiments in there as well.
It's really pretty and also limited stock, so we're busy this morning, so that's 90% gone. This is also 90% gone. You've still got time, but there's not much. 683741. Okie dokie, now everyone at home, you know the happy hour, which is this one. If you've already got this, of course, you're just going to go for the happy hour. That's a special offer just for that half. That is £8 this morning. Looking on the screen then, you then also, in this bundle, get the Mulberry and Gold Damask, which is absolutely divine. I'll flick through that in just a second. You get all of the stamps here as well, and you get a handful of dies too, for $20.67. So for just over double the price of the happy hour, actually, you then get stamps and dies as well as another paper pad as well. And this one is double-sided, which is absolutely beautiful. Tony, with the colour, for you, was it the contrast? Because Mulberry and Gold aren't colours that I personally have seen together before, but then when they come together, it's divine, isn't it?
Yes, so this is our wonderful paper chain range, which is the lovely Helen Kirkham. So you get to see a different feel of papers and cardstocks, very moody, very undertoney. So you get the gold, the strokes that have got black in there as well. I like the very fact that these are a great way, again, uncoated, which totally means you can use them for your boxes, your box lids, your mini albums, your covers. You've got several of each design. So you're not worrying, is my front cover going to match my back cover? Do I have enough? Totally enough in there. They are double-sided, so if you like to do the paper folding and make gift tags and you like your tags to be double-sided, this is that one for you. And you've got a lovely undertone of mustardy yellow, which complements the gold. But if you do get this particular set, you have the Ruby and Bloom all surfaces, which is the look of the mirror board and the sparkle and the foiling, but no plastic, which is absolutely incredible. So that enables you then to stamp onto them, heat emboss, texture, sand back, because there's no plastic involved in creating the look. It's a total cheat on the eye. And then you get the wonderful stamp and coordinating die, which is a very generic stamp and die. So it's not very niche, it's very generic, which means you'll be able to use it across the board. I'm already thinking about a Christmas jumper of my boy, Christmas Day in one of those frames, onto the front of a Christmas card for the family members. So very generic in design, and you could do several. You could do a triptych card if you wanted to, but it's just a great price. And if you're going to break it down, keep it for yourself or break it down and give it to friends and family if they are crafters, or equally, what a wonderful raffle prize for a community to raise funds, £20. I'm sure people would invest in a couple of tickets to get involved.
I completely agree, and it's better than 50% off as well. You're saving $21.30 after all. Zero, that going in there. Remember, you've got 3 flex pays or 2 flex pays on the Eureka. 056221. The next bundle, I remember seeing this first time actually with Kathleen Kirkham. Really, really beautiful. And Tony, these are like, they look like well, daffodils or narcissus as well. Absolutely beautiful. But the 2 tones here through the darker ones and the lighter ones. It could be for gents cards, Tony, I think, as well, but taking us into the new year for Easter, or other celebratory elements too. There's a bit of a mix here, isn't there?
Totally. So this one, like many things on the counter, it's pretty much buy one, get one free. So you're in for some great deals. Yeah. So this is the powder blue and the Oxford blue, which gives you that really deep navy undertone. This collection is brilliant for fussy cutting. It's got some really symmetrical flowers, but it also has your core underline. So you've got your stripe and your spots. Not everything's patterned. You get the powder blue collection as well, Dan, thank you. And again, very similar in design, but softer in colour. So if you do want to do baby cards or make your cards light and airy, you can do that. But if you do like a little bit of texture and those darker tones, you've got options. So if you like one, you're getting the other one free.
Perfect. Even better than that, actually, because you're saving £14 odd. It's £11.68. 106420. That's everything out on the counters, but after all, there's everything, even more on the show pages. But to grab proper bargains through the Black Friday deals, which launched yesterday, going through Black Friday through the weekend after all. But this is your penultimate hour for all things one-day special. Tony will be back at 2 o'clock. But obviously, these items, once they go, that is it. That is there. They are not coming back. So, some other bits and bobs available for you. These next ones, I love these stamps. I was talking about these a lot last night. I'm amazed they're still in stock. Really playful designs, big stamps these. A couple of dies on the back as well. Look at the price. This was my personal choice of happy hours for the whole of the one-day special. For value for money, from a brand like Thirsty Brush, under stamps by me, for under £13. Extraordinary value, so please don't miss out on these if you haven't got them yet. 631478. But as we approach half past through the show, is that even English? 70% of the stock has gone. Of what? Of the complete Collage collection. You've got the 3 designs for you here with stamps and dies, and then the 2 paper pads, the Artistry and the Brights. And then you do not miss out on anything. And the majority of baskets are adding in more of those 2 paper pads. After all, you can divide it by 3. So more of the paper pads are on the bottom of the screen. They are brand new as of last night, 608115. But to get everything you see there together, that's what 70% has gone of, 687954. And after all, if these go in that same flexi basket, it's an extra £5.40 to get. You still get them like another set home anyway, but to double up, an extra £5.40 this month, if that's what you choose to do. 687954. Right, Tony, demonstration time. What do you fancy working with?
So I'm going to stick with the same set that I used last time. I do have some more in-depth ones, and I am back at 2 o'clock as well. But because I've got these pre-made from yesterday, I'm just going to show you how you make quick cards.
Cool.
Now, those papers, I've been told, and I've just heard Dan say it there, that you're all topping up on those papers. That's brilliant, because once they're gone, they're absolutely gone. I gave TV them all. They took them all, which is like, so annoying. But they do have them all, so make the most of them. I never get any for myself. This is the problem. So let's show you what I'm going to work with. I'm going to work with that lovely lamppost, and this is that lovely lamppost me and Dan did yesterday, and we used that colourless glitter on the light. So if you got that, totally amazing. You're going to have so much fun with that, guys. And I'm going to use this lovely sort of abstracted leaf that looks like I've blown the ink out with a straw, and I'm going to be really creative. But I am going to add my own touch. I don't want it to just be like a stick piece of card and then me go, hey, I made this card. I'm going to add a little bit of detail. So this is a really quick demo. So from my lamppost, I would like to add a little halo. So you can see as soon as you add the lamppost in there, and because I get the dye as well, it's totally awesome. I haven't got to worry about fussy cutting. I can just absolutely have some fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my yellow ink pad here, and I'm just going to add a halo around my light to make it look like I have put some thought into this card. So I'm just going to pop a yellow halo in the centre. So although we've got all of that incredible, quite busy detail in the back, I'm going to try and not let it be my focus. I would like my lamppost to be the focus. So let's do a yellow halo. So when we pop it on, it looks like our light is lit up. Look at that one.
Fab,
so let's just add some orange as well. Just a touch of orange, not too much. And you can see it's complementing the papers straight away. So I'm just going to add a bit more yellow to the edge. And if you put your colour on and you're thinking, oh, I've gone and ruined it, it's too dark, I don't like it, just grab a white ink pad. This is available on the website. This never stays in long. This is our cotton white pigment ink pad, the best. This is going to push anything back, anything at all. If you take some of the white, you can see how pigmented it is on my mat there. I'm just going to get rid of some of that ink. And then you can pop it on and totally push it back. I daren't press on heavy. I don't want to ruin it now. I'm feeling quite cool with this card, so I am being a bit precious. I don't want to ruin it. So I'll press on. There we go, look. Oh, go for it, Tony. So you can push your colour totally back, okay? So now I have like that lovely halo in the centre of my card here. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean this off because I don't like mess. So I have my lamppost here, and I'm just going to take off the pads here. So we're going to raise this one up. Yesterday I couldn't find my pads from my bag, so everything looked quite flat. I did explain, obviously, you can pop pads behind, but it is always nice to have my pads. So I'm just going to pop this over here. So I have the halo, so I have that. Look at this, looks like a piece of artwork. And if you're into this sort of thing where, you know, things make you look better than you actually are, these papers are so going to do that for you. So let's get some,
oh,
Dan.
What?
Oh.
The glue?
Oh.
You got a pokey tool?
The glue. I have.
Oh, Tony.
I'm safe, Dan, I'm safe. I've got a
It's glue.
Honestly. Do you know, so many guests have problems with glue. It's the bane of my life, honestly, every single day. I'm going to do a tool, Dan, to stop it from happening.
Please do.
Somebody beat me to it now, I've talked about it. You do it, Dan.
I'll do it. I'm on it. I'll say no glue in the studio. That's what I'll say.
So let's pop this on here. So you can see how, when you pop that piece of black just around, how quick am I able to make this lovely sort of mixed media card. Now, if you're buying the set, you're going to have everything you need. So in one of the sets, and it is the set called Happy Place. So if you bought Happy Place, you will have this wonderful sentiment on here, which is thank you. And I've matte and layered it onto some vellum. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is just tuck it maybe under here like so. Nothing too much. Now, when you add glue to the back of vellum, be careful because it does show through. Just add a little bit of glue. So this is a super quick demo using the bits and pieces from yesterday and that beautiful abstract art type paper there. So let's just pop this under here, just to sit it off to the side here. And we'll just pop my block on top, just to push it down. And then literally you could add sparkle. You could go further and add layers and texture, grunge it up if you wanted to. But how quick and easy was that? Yes, I did add the halo around the light. I did create that background. If anyone asks, I did, I promise.
And actually, that thank you could be nowhere near these cards, right? That could be on your thank you notes for after Christmas. It could be off the back of a wedding invitation. It's a really big statement and swirly, isn't it? Beautiful. Tony, I'll let you get ready for more demonstrations. I'm going to quickly go through. It's a bit of pen and paper time, really. I'll be as quick as I can. If you want to go for the one-day special, you want to go for one of those three choices. Completely can, of course. Midnight Times, which is the middle one. Is it the middle one? Yes, the Midnight Times, the one we've been using. That is going to sell out first. Midnight Times is in the lead. That feather, the lamp, of course, after all. The very first one is Happy Place, which was Tony's favourite, she was saying as well. It's got that beautiful doorway in there, which is really divine. Of course, florals. We all love florals. That's in there too. And the extra die, actually, for cutting out the door. So if you probably want to cut out the door, you can do. And that big thank you script. The final one is over here. It's all on the item number 217275. It's called Time to Breathe. You've got the cogs in there. You've got the bird. Actually, let me quickly show you. Because this one here shows you there. Do you see that bird in the background? That Dream Big is also from the previous collection as well, so it is part of the one-day special. But they are your bird die in there and stamps, and you've also got the clock side of things in there too, which is really, really pretty. Each one of those saving £9 off, £26.98 is your total price. Choose one. That is that price per one. 217275. Right, the pads. There's every chance I've mixed up some of the pads, as in these two. So I'm going to show you two piles. You get them both anyway, so it doesn't matter, but you kind of let me off, okay? Here we go. This is the one that's like the bright, a bit more like artistic, if you like, purely with the splats and the paint and the different backgrounds going on in there. Really, really funky and cool. As Tony has beautifully shown you, any of these stamps and dies will work alongside, but maybe you've got previous ones from Tony. Maybe they're from somewhere else. You're thinking, you know what, I'd love that on top of here. Some mixed media work, add your own paints to it as well, as you can do. Of course you could do. These are my absolute favourite. You've just seen Tony using similar ones. I don't know why I spun that around. Really, they're dripping down, right? But absolutely beautiful and sort of like on a knocked back white cardstock. Let me pop that down, because the other one, actually, I think that came from here. The artistry, again, really natural, some lovely greens, as you just spied on, sort of like eucalyptus elements in there. But just that composition, or collage, which obviously makes sense as to why it's here. You see these designs being within the packaging as well, so they are designed to go alongside. For example, I know it's not the exact one I'm holding right now, it's the first one, but that has a Happy Place in there. It's now a shaker card, but has those green elements in the background, which are from this pad. So you've got plenty of choice going through them all. But then this sort of like old paper, off-white, almost like linen. How pretty are they, by the way? For wedding invitations, a little thank you note, a get well soon, something like that. These eucalyptus are absolutely beautiful. Right, over half the stock of the papers in their own right have sold out as well. Making a bit of a mess. So 16.19, you get them both brand new, 608115. But if you want both the paper pads and you want to get all three of the one-day specials where you're saving £6 there, £6 there, £6 there. Obviously, if you're in the club, you're saving £9.99, and then another £10 off on the top, or making your saving actually nearly £20 off. That's by being in the club. You can see it there, £19.79 on the banner. That is a complete collage collection. You're not harking after, hopefully, some stamps and dies being back in stock, because you see a sample when you check the QR code on the one-day special that you purchased, and an element is from somewhere else. You get everything all together, where all of these designs have been created from. 687954. So bravo, everybody checking out your baskets. Right, I mentioned pen and paper time. Here comes some item numbers, and I promise straight back to Tony for more demonstrations. And after all, 3 flexi pays with that big complete collection divides everything else in there by 3 this month, next month, and next month. The teal card and envelope bundle is hugely popular this morning. 50 in there for you, 50 pairs. 16.18 is your total club price. They are brand new as of last night. 353523. The Ruby Blooms painted mounts. This one that has a happy hour in there. The Mulberry and Gold, the dies, and those beautiful stamps. Oh yeah, that's not that. is also coming up in just a second. Phew, covered that, guys. Covered that big time. Right, the Mulberry painted mounts. Here we go. The 5x5 and the 5x7. Sorry, I was distracted. 238069. Very limited stock. Phew. Yeah, guys. The one I was going to. I got that wrong, didn't I? Here it is. 056221. Two 8x8 paper pads. One is double-sided, one is single-sided. You then get the stamps and the dies too for better than 50% off by being in the... Oh, by the way, if you join Club Freedom during Black Friday, we will chuck a Eureka device in there for free as well. So you can plug that into your system, your computer, for example. That is by joining Club Freedom as a new member. That's on the bottom part of the screen. Should have told you that ages ago. 056221. Back to the pictures. We're back to Tony. The Eureka then. Here we go. That one was meant to be a design palette on the go. Has your watercolor wells in there too. But it's perfect. It's a big stamping platform, by the way. I know a lot of people use it for jewellery making, for crystal art, of course for your layering stencils too. 814466. Brings you that Eureka with a third off the price. That's for club members. You know that lamination stamp, the Friend Like You, which has the beautiful detailing elements in there, lots of different sentiments, and then the silhouette stamp, that is about to sell out as well. 683741. So if you missed out on that and you want a better 50% off, away you go. Okie dokie. So, of course, you can check out your baskets whenever you're ready. We just give you stock updates so you're very much in the loop on the phone lines, on the app, or on the website, crateandcraft.com. I see Tony's ready. Tony, we've got plenty of time. We've got 15 minutes yet. Let's continue on.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dan. So, just a little bit of a backstory on the Eureka, if anybody's maybe never seen it, never heard of me, because there are brand new crafters every single day. We launched it in 2017. It is one of the best tools that has ever sold through over on Create and Craft. We've sold thousands upon thousands, and it's still going to continue to sell probably until the day I finish my craft. I hang my crafty scissors up at some point. So if you are looking for that multi-station that enables you to have a mixed media messy mat, because the lid is perspex, you can clean it down. It has measurements on the lid, it has the wells, it has the brush, it has the scoreboard, which doesn't move, it sits within the recess beautifully. Then it is a great gift for anyone who's maybe sat at home thinking, do you know what? Get me that for Christmas. I don't need anything, love, but get me that for Christmas, will you? Because I feel like it will be a great, great gift to use as well. It comes in a clutch bag, so it's great for on the go as well. And as I've already said, we have brand new items coming early next year to complement this one as well. And we do have other items coming. This is not going to be redundant. Just because I've been mentioning that there are new items, people have been panicking saying, is this Eureka going to be redundant? I'm like, no, and that's not why it's super, super cheap either. We are building the components to work with it as well, so fear not, it's going to work.
Like what, Tony? Like so, Tony. Like what? Can you say? Like what? What are you doing? All right, I guess we're not getting an answer. I can't tell you. Not getting an answer on that one.
Walls have ears.
The walls have... Okay, yeah, I get you. Looking forward to that next year.
Coming soon, though. Okay. So let's show you a fantastic demo here, Dan. Now, I was thinking maybe if you've just invested in one of the stamps today, you're not interested in the papers, you're not interested in all of the designs, but one design has actually stood out to you. So I felt like let's skip a beat with the papers. Let's just do some traditional stamping and use some of our inks ourselves. Let's be brave. So I'm going to use, on this one, I'm going to use, let's have a look, Time to Breathe. Now, it's the one with the clock. It's this one here. It has a beautiful clock. It has the butterflies, the florals, and it has the bird stamp. It has the cogs, and it has the outline down. So let me just show you this. I know this is on the pattern paper, but this is the clock and all of those beautiful elements built up there. So you have timeless designs. They do not have to be grungy. Dan's shown you a lot of examples where they're just black and white on a teal card blank. Absolutely wonderful. So that's the one that I'm going to use. So first of all, I'm going to be creative with some ink. So I have a piece of cardstock here, and I'm just going to get some colour on here. So I'm just going to go a little bit pinky at the top with some colour. Now, if you don't have any great blending brushes, these ones are fantastic. They're the Funky Fossil ones. They're on the website, and they're great for big areas. I have my own brushes, but they're always sold out. So these are my go-to brushes for those big blendable backgrounds where you want a smooth seamless finish. So check those out as well. You never know, they actually could be on a deal as well because it's being Black Friday. But hey ho, you never know, you never know. So let's just turn this piece of card around and let's get some teal at the base here. So teal and pink is a great combo. I love these colours. And then when you mix them and meet them in the middle, you get a lovely tone of purple. So that's why I like this one. And it's an easy blend as well. So just a bit of colour. So this was a piece of cream cardstock, not white, cream, because I feel like you have to work a lot harder with white cardstock. And I really do not have great dexterity in my hands to get really smooth blends like most people. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some water, pop it on my hand, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of flick with some water, and we'll just give it a little bit of texture. Bit of similar to our papers in our collections, but we're doing it ourselves on this occasion. So let's just move that colour there. Let that water just sink into that piece of card there. Let's just clean our desk here. So for those of you that are watching at home right now, we are in our own studio. We're zooming in today. We're doing a few tests today with the wonderful Create and Craft. So you can catch us, all of our videos and all of our demonstrations live in studio if you scan that QR code, which is on all of the packets. I always forget to mention it. Dan's normally quite good, but he forgot as well. But we have the QR code that you can scan on the back of the packet, and it takes you to all of that tuition of all of the products we sell to you on Create and Craft. So scan that QR code and be instantly inspired. We've got 5 years worth of videos, 1,400 videos, and you're always going to be greeted with a smiley face. That's me.
And me. It's just down there. Didn't forget.
Thanks, Dan. So I'm just bleaching this out, taking up that ink. So I've got quite a nice background here. I'm quite chuffed with this one. So I'm just going to dry it off a little bit because it's still a little bit damp. So I'm just going to take my tool and I'm just going to give a little bit of heat. And then I'm going to use the stamp. Now I'm going to use both stamps in one card to show you that there is 2 designs in each one, but they work incredibly well together. So we'll just do this one very quickly. Do you know what? We might stamp in some coloured ink. Let's see how it goes.
Go on.
So let's just grab our Eureka. Now you can see a bit dirty. I should have cleaned it, but you know, it is a workhorse, and I've only recently just treated myself to a new one for TV. The last one that Martin kept telling me about, and you and everybody telling me how disgusting it was. It worked. It was disgusting though. So I did treat myself to a new one. However, the redundant one has not gone anywhere. Spare one's under here, Dan.
Always.
So cannot be without it. So I'm going to use the clock in the background, so you can see here, look how wonderful that is when you pop that on there. Now, don't forget about all of the cool techniques, the white emboss, the resist technique, the sanding back. Got so many options. I'll make sure this is the right way. And I said this yesterday, didn't I? I can't quite see this stamp when it's like that. I don't know which is the right way and which is the wrong way. And I really don't want to get it wrong. So I bring in my packaging, and this is why we do our packaging like we do. You have a visual, okay? I can see the butterfly there. That's the right way, and that butterfly's there, so I know I've got it right. So I'm just going to pop that on here. And let's stamp in, let's stamp in black. I know I said colour, let's stamp in black. And you're going to be able to see it live on air. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this up.
Tony, we're getting crazy busy towards the end. We've got 80% of that complete collection gone, so maybe it'll stop by the end of the show, maybe just after, but there is scheduled 2 p.m. as well, so there'll be more demonstrations there. But if you 100% do not want to miss out, 687954, that's your item just to pop in your basket. Okay, thanks, Dan. So I'm just stamping it twice, and that's the great thing about the Eureka as well. The area for you to be able to do the stamping system is 9x9, which is above and beyond a traditional 8x8 card blank as well. So it's totally got that exterior for you to be able to stamp on and off your page as well. So that's really, really cool. It's just a one-stop shop, really. That's got you covered for everything. And if I want to stamp onto an MDF tag right now, I can do that too. So there we can go. You can see how wonderful that clock is. But in that very same set, we get the bird as well. So I'll just take that stamp off there. And I did a little bit of the work on this one coming to air. And I stamped out the bird onto some cream here.
and I coloured the flowers. So this is just an incredible design. I didn't do any of that layering. I wouldn't be able to do it. My mind doesn't work in layers like this. So to have a pre-built stamp that gives me the look is wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I just stamped that out on there, and then I coloured the flowers in pink, and then I'm just going to grab the die. And if you look, this is going to take out that bird and that cog and enable me to 3D onto my pre-coloured card. So let's just move this out of the way. Let's just move our Eureka for now. And let's bring in our little die cutting machine and let's run this one through. So hopefully having them as individuals, you've been able to invest in the design that you like as well.
Well, if you want the individuals,
let's just pop this around.
After all, whilst that's going through the die cutting machine, $26.98 is your one-day special, by the way. So if you want to get any of them, maybe there's one you absolutely adore, just want to go for that, I get it. 217-275, that is your one-day special.
So I just run this one through, super, super simple. So they'll all go through your A5 die cutting machines as well. So let's just pop this out. So now I have a bird which is sat on some florals. There's a creative cog in there as well. Now you could totally spend a little bit of time jazzing it up, adding some colour if you want to. That's what I love about craft, you know, guys. There is no rules. If you're happy in your craft, it makes you happy, you've got a smile on your face, who cares what anybody else thinks, says or does. Somebody might not like it, somebody will absolutely love it. If it's making you happy, it makes me very happy.
Absolutely.
So let's get this card built together. So normally, to get this sort of like ombre effect, we mask off with tape and then we peel off the tape so we've got a nice white edge. Mine never works, the ink always goes underneath the edge. So I've cut a piece of cream that's just a little bit bigger. So when I glue it on, it actually looks like I've got that nice crisp white edge, and I haven't.
Actually.
Totally cheat. Total cheat. But I love a good cheat in a card. Anything that's going to make me look better than I am.
Well,
so let's pop this on here.
That's where tools come into it, right, Tony? And stuff like I can ever draw these stamps. I can't possibly fussy cut out like the dies do. I can't place something like the Eureka allows me to do. These are all tools, right, of the trade that allow me to access artwork, access skills and tools and finished samples that I'd never be able to do myself. And that's the whole purpose, isn't it? To like have things that can further our own skill set as well.
It totally makes artwork and really complicated designs accessible for craft. I absolutely love that, you know. Gone are the days of, you know, handmade cards where they just had a bow. You just don't see it anymore, do you? It's advanced so much year in, year out. The creativity, the innovation has grown and grown and grown, which has enabled crafters to get better and better and better. So let's get this on a card. So I have a cream card. I have my matte and layer, which looks like I masked it off, taped it off, and I totally did not. And then I'm just going to pop this on here. Now, you do get some wonderful cogs in this particular set too. So yesterday, me and Dan, he embossed these tags where we did a little bit of sprinkling with some embossing powder on them. So you get 3 different shapes, which are amazing to build. And then we have our bird. So I'm just going to pop some pads behind my bird. And I am going to create a collage. I'm not great with composition, but I do understand that you're going to have to start in a corner. You can start in the centre. You can start wherever you want. So this is my interpretation of a card. So here, I'm going to pop the bird here. So it's in the cream. And then I'm going to tuck in my cogs in and around to decorate him or her. No, we'll pop this under here. And then we'll pop another one under the other side. Just a little bit of glue, not too much. You could even stick it on top. So yeah, oh, let's do that. Look at that. Yeah, that looks nice. Excellent. That was meant to be. And then we have this one, and we'll just offset this one, maybe so it's hung. No, too much, Tony.
No?
Move over. No, sorry, Dan, can't. I'm going to have to tuck him underneath.
Oh, that's okay.
It's looking too dark. I got a little bit scared.
Okay.
So, here we have the wonderful words as well. So in one of the sets, you get this Dream Big with the extended arms. And it's a great one as well because it extends straight across your card if you want it to. But I am going to trim it down very quickly because I don't want the extended leg. So I'm going to take a little bit off that edge and a little bit off this edge. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of glue. And we'll just pop this onto a nice piece of vellum, which I will trim down.
Oh, nice. Tony, as we career towards the end of the show, can I quickly ask, when are you back on? When do we see you again?
I'm back today at 2 o'clock, guys, and I will try and demonstrate some of the other stamps for you so you can see the variety. I just quickly pop this on here so you can just see. So I would just pop Dream Big straight across the centre of the bird there.
Beautiful. Tony, I meant like after today. I know you're on later today. I meant like after today. Are you back in a week?
Oh, after today. Yeah, we've got a few more shows before the end of the year. I'm still super busy. You can't get rid of me. Excellent.
That's how I want it. And Tony, thank you so much, by the way. Loads of different ideas. If you've got loads of time, bring in your mixed media elements. Bring in whatever you'd rather do. If you haven't, by all means, that's kind of where the paper pad comes into it. Right, we've only got 1 minute left. Tony, thank you so much. Just reminds again, because you've got a brilliant setup up there. If you want to be inspired by the QR code or search for on social media, what do we do? What do we search for?
We're always really, really busy, guys. So you can scan the QR code. We're live every Monday evening at 8 o'clock with live shows using the products you've purchased to inspire you further. So if you want to join our YouTube channel, How to Craft Network Studio, we are on social media as well. And predominantly, we are a collaboration with Create and Craft. We love to share the love of craft.
Perfect, the How to Craft Network. Tony, thank you so much. I'll say cheerio and we'll see you at 2 o'clock, but thank you so much,
Thanks,
Tony.
Dan.
Derek. Inchy, fab and talented as well. So 2 big offers. There's tons more on the show, of course. If you want to go for one of the collages, absolutely, that's your one-day special. But the vast majority of you, 80% of the stock is gone. The complete collage collection, all 3 designs home, where there's multiple stamps and dies in there and sentiments. And you get the 2 brand new paper pads. Most baskets are adding in more paper pads for an extra £5.40 on that 3-way flexi basket. But 687954. Here's your time to check out your baskets on the phone lines, on the app, or on the website, craneCraft.com.